Fox host Jesse Waters and Trump goons Corey Lewandowski and Anthony Scaramucci did a segment here on the NFL banning kneeling during the anthem, and it's pretty much what you expect. They fucked this up in a variety of ways.
I'm all for the First Amendment, but that is a game of entertainment, and the American people don't like what they're doing, and I'm glad that they made that decision.
Someone who disagrees with you, one of the coaches, Steve Kerr of the Golden State Warriors, had this to say on the new policy.
Basically trying to use the anthem as fake patriotism, nationalism, scaring people. It's idiotic. I'm proud to be in a league that understands patriotism in America is about free speech, about peacefully protesting. Our president decided to make it about that. The NFL followed suit, pandered to their fan base.
He's wrong, Anthony, because it's not about the First Amendment. You have the First Amendment. Fine, kneel or do what you need to do at a softball game in your backyard. But like you said, when you're at your employer's place of work in a stadium that he owns and you're wearing a jersey that he owns and he's paying you to work, he's not paying you to kneel, he's paying you to play football, you have to do what the company wants you to do.
He's also leaving out of that the NBA has signed into their collective bargaining agreement that everybody has to stand for the anthem, because they recognize it's a level of entertainment and they want to be respectful to all citizens of America.
So the NBA has a different policy than the NFL.
NBA has a different policy. So
and they all stand there.
They all have to stand.
So what is he talking about? He's a hypocrite.
It's signed contractually into the collective bargaining agreement.
Of course he's a hypocrite, but this is, Jesse, it's so simple, right? It's so simple. You play a game, you make a lot of money, it's an entertainment thing, you stand up, you show some respect for the greatest country in the world, which is where we live, and gives you the privilege of playing. If you don't want to stand for the national anthem, you're welcome to go play overseas somewhere. Good luck, Steve Kerr, making the same amount of money, coaching in Romania. I don't think it's going to happen.
I do get the grievance, though.
Yeah.
And I do think that there's a format for the grievances other than that. And
I mean, listen, police brutality and racism is a serious issue in this country.
No question.
At the same time, there's other avenues where you can pontificate
just remember, the greatest of all time, who was protesting the Vietnam War, said it was a white man's war. He left boxing. He didn't stand in the ring and kneel in the ring. He left boxing to make that protest. And so, now I'm not saying people should be doing that today, but I just want you to think of the power and the courage of being able to do that 50 years ago.
That's right.
You jackass. Muhammad Ali didn't leave boxing. He was stripped of the title, he was suspended, and he was arrested. Jesus Christ, he's so stupid. He's making it seem like, Muhammad Ali chose in his prime to have the system massively fuck him over. And by the way, later on, of course, Muhammad Ali was vindicated. But the point is, he wanted to keep boxing. Society was like, fuck you for not wanting to go fight and die in a war that we shouldn't be in, where we're massacring landless peasants in Vietnam. So he took a brave stand. And society shit on him. But now they do the bullshit after the fact retelling of history where they just make it up. Like, no, Muhammad Ali decided on his own free will to leave boxing. Right? No, he didn't. And by the way, the same bullshit is happening to Kaepernick right now. Kaepernick hasn't been picked up by a team, even though he's definitely good enough to be picked up by a team. Why? They don't want to deal with the, oh my God, he kneels, and we think it's bad PR, and it might piss off some fans, and oh my God, it's unpatriotic, and the president keeps railing against it. So it's just historically incorrect to make the argument, the best of all time left willingly. No, the best of all time was unjustly punished by the system, the same way Kaepernick is being unjustly punished by the system, and everybody kneeling is being unjustly punished by the system. Okay, then, I love by the way, Lewandowski, all he knows how to do is copy Trump. He's even trying with the hand motions. It's very simple. Let me just tell you. He goes, he just go to Romania. If he doesn't like it here, go to Romania. Oh, so we're back to that argument now? If you don't agree with every decision ever made by the NFL or every decision ever made by your country, then you should go to Romania. That's what you should do. Okay, so can we flip that back on you? If you ever disagreed with anything Obama did, for example, you should go to Romania. If you disagree with any decision made by the NFL or any other organization for that instance, you should go to Romania. Are you not allowed to criticize the country or the organization you work for? Because that would be the opposite of freedom. And I thought you believed in freedom. I thought you thought freedom was a good thing, but no, it turns out when you say the things that trigger Corey Lewandowski, then freedom's not a good thing, and you need to maybe move to Romania. And then I like when Scaramucci says at the beginning, quote, I'm all for the First Amendment, but, because you know that's not going anywhere good. When you add the but, listen, I'm all for free speech, but, no but. Stop the sentence. I'm all for free speech. That's it. You're done. And then idiot Jesse Waters goes, well, listen, they're wrong. This isn't about the First Amendment. You're right. It's not about the legality of the First Amendment. It's about the principle of the First Amendment. The same fucking reason I'm sure you just recently thought, hey man, it's bullshit that Laura Ingraham might get fired for pissing off some people who aren't even her fans for saying some shit about David Hogg, the shooting victim who's now a gun control activist. The same reason you thought it was bullshit that she was being targeted for her speech. That's not the First Amendment in terms of the legality of it, because it's got nothing to do with the government. But it does have to do with the principle of the First Amendment. It's the same fucking thing with Kaepernick. It's the same thing with kneeling during the anthem. Yes, it's not legally a First Amendment issue, but the principle of free speech is still at work here. Should you allow dissent within an organization? I say yes. Should you allow peaceful protest? And that leads to the main point here. They are just ridiculous in the argument of, hey man, there's a better time and place to do it. Really? When's the better time and place? Because they always say that, and then they don't offer you a better time and place. Or they'll say something that's a better time and place, and it's just where it would have no impact. And that's what he says. He goes, hey man, you can kneel in your backyard. Bitch, what? You can kneel in your backyard. So, in other words, when your protest against police brutality can be seen and heard by no one and nobody can care about it because they're unaware it's happening, that's when you can protest. See, this is the goalpost moving that always happens on the far right when it comes to these sorts of issues. So if you have, say an unarmed black person who's killed, and then there's riots in response to that, what'll they say? They'll go out there and say, oh, how dare you do riots? That is so immoral and unethical. You should learn from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and do some peaceful protests instead. And then if there's a, killing of an unarmed black man, and then there's peaceful protests, they go, oh, how dare you disrupt people on their commute to work with your peaceful protests in the street. You should really do this peaceful protest in a different way. Then you get a guy like Colin Kaepernick, who is doing the most mild version of a protest imaginable. I'm going to silently take a knee. And they go, oh, how dare you? There's other times and places you should do this. So they just keep moving the goalposts. It's almost like they don't want you to ever object to issues where they're on the other side. And that's exactly what it is. And there was a great cartoon that I saw where it was Kaepernick, in front of an audience saying, like, America is not great. And the audience is like, boo! But then the next picture is like Trump in front of the same audience saying, America is not great. And they're all like, yeah! And that really does sum up, exactly what the difference is. Trump can run on a platform of make America great again, meaning America's not great right now. We got to fix it. And everybody goes, oh, what a patriot! But when Colin Kaepernick says, we should make America great, America's not great right now, look at all the police brutality, and he's spoken in the past about war and things of that nature, they go, oh, this uppity Negro doesn't know his place. So, they're just silly people with standard boilerplate right-wing opinions, and it's sad to watch. It's like watching a panel of your that family member at the Thanksgiving dinner table who can't shut up and has Sean Hannity's politics. It's like watching a round table with those people, and with every word they say, they move further and further in a ridiculous direction.